Mr. Mayor and Council, good morning. Thank you for allowing me to share some comments today and for your questions and patient engagement with the community over these many hearings. I'm speaking this morning in opposition to the rezoning of 105 Keefer Street. I speak as a private citizen who has an affinity to Chinatown neighborhood and an interest in seeing it thrive. My husband and I are proud that Vancouver is the city where we raise our children because of forward-thinking civic initiatives, many of which have been put in place by the members of this council or their parties, but also because of the thriving cultural community, which Chinatown, to us, is the heart of. My parents, Taiwanese and Jewish, shop, eat, and stroll the gardens in Chinatown almost daily. My Cantonese mother-in-law has come to Chinatown twice a week for decades to buy groceries, and it is one of the great joys in her weekly routine. Our children have taken Cantonese opera, language classes, and kung fu classes in Chinatown. Chinatown, not Richmond, is where we celebrate Chinese New Year and Mid-Autumn Moon Festival as a family, because it is where our community celebrates these happy occasions. The owners of Bamboo Village always notice when the children have gotten taller. We often attend the community mahjong gatherings and summer night markets as 3 generations. My 8-year-old son just got his haircut at Chinatown Plaza yesterday after dim sum with the grandparents at Florida. I'm a writer and editor, and have served the Canadian literary community in many capacities, including as juror for the City of Vancouver Book Awards. For 3 years, I served as editor of Rice Paper magazine, Canada's oldest Asian Canadian literary magazine. I was also part of the selection and implementation of Project Bookmark's bilingual plaques on Pender and Gore, commemorating Wei-Sun Choi's novel, The Jade Peony. In addition, I have curated and hosted numerous literary programs, many located in Chinatown. Where possible in my work, I seek to understand and provide platform and bridges for Asian Canadian and diverse voices. There have been many eloquent and highly educated speakers in opposition to the proposed rezoning, and they have made many good points. So I will keep my comments to a simple 3. Firstly, the proposed rezone tower is too tall. Even at 90 feet, it overpowers the physical surroundings. 70 feet would be more appropriate, and at 115 feet, it will stick out like a sore thumb. Secondly, the proposed rezoning has been too divisive for the community. As I'm sure Council has noticed, there is a deep emotional response from the community to this site. While to some, this has seemed to be a situation of Chinese elders pitted against Chinese youth, in actuality, almost all of these speakers seem to be agreed on the desperate need for increased seniors housing and community amenities in Chinatown. The deviation is in the details as to at what social cost to the community. Imagine if the passion that has been shown at these presentations could be channeled into constructive collective action on how to find more comprehensive solutions for the challenges to the neighborhood. Imagine if our community hadn't been divided, rather allowed to work and advise towards the shared goal of satisfying the social needs of Chinatown, which was recognized as a National Historic Site of Canada in 2011. The cross-section of speakers you have seen before you and will continue to see over the course of these hearings represents an energy to harness towards its common goal of making Chinatown ever greater, as opposed to being faced with false divisions. Finally, while on paper 105 Keefer may not have been included in the official bounds of the National Historic District, it is clear by now that in the present time, it is of critical importance to the community. It is the south entrance to Chinatown, sitting between the Veterans Memorial and historic Chinatown. It overlooks Sun Yat-sen Gardens, named the top city garden in 2012, and forms the southern boundary of a key alleyway behind the historically significant buildings on Pender Street. What happens at 105 Keefer Street sets a precedent for the development in Chinatown's future. Already, we are making history in that Council rarely sees 273 and counting registered speakers on a Council decision. Venerated Chinatown activists who campaign against the highway through Chinatown and numerous flashpoint issues for the neighborhood are back at the podium. I believe the stewardship of Chinatown is not only for the benefit of the Chinese community. We have seen the significance Chinatown has for many Vancouverites, Canadians, and visitors from abroad. And this is a decision that affects the future generations. After eavesdropping on our web viewing of these public hearings over many nights last week, my 10-year-old daughter wondered if perhaps she should speak as well. Mr. Mayor, honored councilors, this decision is one for the books. I hope you can be on the right side of history once again and not approve the rezoning of 105 Keefer Street. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for being here today. No questions for you?